Hi and hello. My name is Archangel Kenyumile, and you're welcome to another episode of I Mentor with Archangel Kenyumile. I am the development and empowerment strategist and also the spirit mentalist. Today I'll be talking about the Twain principle of human response in psychology. Why psychology? Psychology used to be something like a fringe science or fringe art. What I mean by that is there's something that was sacred, something only the elite knew, but today psychology has become pretty much known everywhere, and it's important for us to learn how to harness the art and the knowledge of psychology into our day-to-day activities. Now, why are we talking about the Twain principle of human response and psychology? It's important for anyone who would grow as a thought leader, or anyone who would become successful, really, to learn how to preempt human response. What does that mean? It means that you can sit in the confines of your library or your laboratory or wherever you test running your products and get to actually create a product where once people see it, you're already programmed the kind of response you're gonna get. Okay, it might be satisfaction, it might be love, there's a whole lot of programming involved, and psychology is one of the things that actually helps you get that done. Okay, people will always respond to two general things. This is the foundation of what I'll be mentioning today. And once their response can be preempted, as I said earlier, then influence can be programmed and you can get them to see things your way. Okay, this is the secret of influence and transactions and really commerce, as you can see. I would like to give a personal example. When I was learning the art of hypnosis from one of the best minds in the world, I realized that it's very easy to influence anyone, no matter how smart they think they are. Okay, it may just take a little more careful planning for the more intelligent guys. Okay, however, you see, humans will always respond the same way to two basic things. Okay, no matter how it is, you would always get the certain level of response in two Twain ways. That's why we're talking about the Twain principle of human response. People would respond the same way to the things they love, and wait for it, the second is the thing they fear. Okay, everyone responds the same way to the things they love, and everyone has the same response to the things they fear. Now, how do you get this worked out, and how do you get this open? This is what we're going to be discussing today. The only issue with this is that not many people know how to find out what a man really loves or what a man really fears. Okay, but once you get to know how to find it, I can tell you no man, no spirit, and no entity can exercise unnecessary authority over you. Now, one of the reasons why I had to learn the art of hypnosis is not so that I can go about hypnotizing people. No, that's not what I did. Actually is to learn how to prevent myself from being hypnotized, because there was a time I got to read about the media and a lot of subtle messages and programming, and I didn't want to be in the receiving end of that. I wanted to know when someone was trying to do something hypnotically, and for me to know what to, how to make sure it doesn't have influence on me. Okay, so that's the reason why I got to learn many of the things I actually did learn today. Now, it is this Twain principle that determines the flow of commerce, of sales, and even the influence of leadership, okay? Everyone reacts emotionally to these Twain principles, to these Twain pointers, even though a few may have learned how to hide it, but if you know where to look, you'd always find what you're seeking for. Many of our choices are made because of the influence or one or both of these triggers. That means it's either love or fear. Many of the things we have bought were influenced by this. Let me give you an example. You can buy a dress as a lady because of the way it makes you feel. So there's a feeling involved, there's an emotions involved. Or because you liked how it looked on someone. That means you saw it on someone and it triggered a certain sense of emotion or feeling. Or because spending money on it makes you feel nice. The thing is, you still feel a particular way, but what makes you feel that way could be different. It could be what you saw, how you saw someone get dressed, how spending money will make you feel, or how it personally makes you feel. And to some green people, it may actually be because you want to outshine someone, or you want to spite someone. Okay, but the truth of the matter is that there is a feeling involved, even though what gets to trigger those feelings may not necessarily be the same for everyone. Okay, but the underlying principle we need to understand is there are feelings involved. Okay, now the fact remains that you bought the dress, but the reason is driven by triggers, underlying triggers. There are businesses that thrive on fear. Okay, many times pharmaceutical industries do a lot of fear. They tell you, they paint all the wrong pictures to you of diseases, of symptoms, and all of that. And by the way, I'm going to tell you this: the worst thing for you to do is to Google a symptom. Oh, you're gonna hate yourself, because it's gonna point you the worst possible scenario. Okay, I'm going forward. One of the things I need you to understand, this is more of a self-awareness session, or a self-awareness check. And it's important for you to learn to be aware of yourself. Now, the reason why many people aren't really self-aware is because there's a whole lot of culture out there, and people are trying to play catch up with them, and they just don't allow people to be self-aware, and the media is quite responsible for that, because many of the things we see, many of the things we believe, many of the things we hope, all boils down to the media, one form or the other. And when the media publicizes or amplifies you not being aware of yourself, then you really get to lose on who you really are. And it's important as an individual for you to learn to be self-aware. So this is the question I want you to ask yourself today. Why do you do what you do on a daily basis? This is the question you need that snaps you out of the matrix of lack of self-awareness. Why do you get to wake up at the time you wake up? Why do you have to get to work? Why do you have to dress the way you dress? Why do you have to speak the way you speak? Why do you have to do the things you do? Now, you need to begin to ponder and ask these questions, because you get to know if the reason why you're doing things is love or fear. Now, when you realize that many of the reasons why you do what you do is because of fear of something else, then there's a problem somewhere. And it's important for you to learn how to deal with that problem. Now, I need you to understand something powerful about the Twain principle. It's all about adjusting your focus. I call it mental accommodation. Okay, now in physics, accommodation is the ability of the human eye to alter its focal points so that you can be able to see near or distant objects. Okay, now when you can do that power of accommodation, it's the same thing that happens. Everything you fear, there is something alternative to it that you can love that helps you to get the same thing. Now, the thing is that for people who really do enjoy their life to the fullest and maximize their existence, they find out what propels them towards the things they love. And it's very important, and it's something you should know, and it's something you should do. If you see that many of the things you do on a daily basis are prompted by the things you fear, the things you don't want to happen to you, then there's a problem somewhere. But on the other hand, if many of the things you see yourself doing on a daily basis is because of love for that particular thing, then I can say you're on a healthy journey towards enjoying life, fulfilling life, and being the best possible version of yourself. Now, it's important. Now, I can't do all of that in this session, okay? But I believe that this is going to be an eye-opening session for everyone out there that makes them begin to question why they do what they do. Now, the moment you can get answers to this, I can tell you, you're at the precipice of turning your life around. I can guarantee you that. But the truth of the matter is you cannot really answer these questions if you're not self-aware. So what I'm propagating today is for you to fall back into self-awareness. Many of the jobs you do is because of insecurity. You need money. Yes, that's good. But what is the reason behind your need for money? Is it for love or is it for fear? The fulcrum of the crux of everything I'll be talking about today is hinged on these Twain principles on fear and love. I'll give you an example. You can run away from someone because you fear what they can do to you, okay? Or you can move away from someone towards what you love. The important thing is for you to know what gets your attention. If your attention is gotten based on the things you fear, then you're not really living the kind of life you should be. If the respect or the influence someone has over you is as a result of fears, then that is not the best example of leadership you can get. But if you have the choice to leave someone, but you still choose to remain with someone because you love, you admire, you respect the person, now that's exemplary leadership. And that's the kind of leadership everyone is supposed to exemplify everywhere they find themselves. Let's take it home. Your father, your mother, your sibling. Do you harbor respect because of fear or because of love? I'm going to tell you this, and this is pretty much where I'm going to be ending today's I'm Into session. It is important for you to learn to find out the things that bring love to you and try to take away the things that bring fear. I'm going to be talking some of the time on how to master fear, and it's very simple, it's very easy. However, it comes back to this singular point. What is this singular point? Self-awareness. The moment you are aware of the things around you, knowing that you're responsible for everything that happens to you, and you're not too quick to blame the next person, the next event, your background, what your father did, what your mother did, where you were born, your educational qualification. If you're not too quick to do all of that, then and only then can you actually begin to harness the power of self-discovery and self-awareness. There is no person who made history. There's no person who led people. There's no person who became a person of influence who did not start by learning to be self-aware. Now I'm going to end this with the tasks for you, which I've said earlier. You need to find out, break your life into two, and find out the decisions you make that are preempted by love and the decisions you make that are preempted by fear. Now, the moment you're able to classify those things, then I can be in the position to help you walk through it and demystify the things you fear and amplify the things you love. Alright, so this is where I'm going to be ending today's I'm Into session about the Twain principle of human response and psychology. It's important for you to learn self-awareness and how to be in tune with yourself. Now, if you have questions, if you have comments, you can always reach out to me. My mail is harkainzelkenya@gmail.com, or just Google the word Harkainzel and you get to see everything about me. Well, not everything, but the things I want to be out there, so you can really connect with me, and we can get to share things at a better level, and I can help you solve your issues and whatever problems you think we may have. All right, so to the next time you hear from me, to the next time I hear from you, I'll always say this: you've got just one life to live. Why not make it the best possible version of your life? And I can guarantee you, the only way to get that done is by starting to be self-aware. Have a wonderful day and have a great life ahead. Ciao.